Now, out. Cool. So welcome to the Tune Up, everybody, where you tune in and tune up. I came up with this call not too long ago, about 6 to 8 months ago. From there, the call literally took off. I had co-hosts. I had, a bunch of a nice community, right? About a week or so ago, something happened in my organization, in my relationships where, my co-host, as, you faithful, loyal tune-up members know, I was actually co-hosting it with a couple of people. They have recently, switched companies and things of that nature. So with that being said, it is a one-band show for now. Last week I kind of went over it. I haven't posted it up on YouTube for all you YouTube folks, but yeah, this is still going to be a powerful episode, a very abundant episode, one of the best episodes. And today we're going to go over the power of thought. Okay, the power of thought. So give a little bit about myself. My name is Mr. Crystal, aka Marquise. I'm from the East Coast of the United States. I did some traveling abroad, traveling domestically, but I'm doing way more traveling soon and in the future. I've joined this platform. I joined, the abundance mindset at an early age, right? And for a long time, I didn't really know what I was doing. At that time, back in the day, I used to, smoke a lot of trees, and I would literally smoke and then meditate, and a lot of the things that I was thinking back then, a lot of the positivity that I was manifesting back then has came into fruition now and is coming into fruition very soon. I'm looking at the patterns of everything in my life. I am an analyst, so I analyze everything. I pay attention to habits. One of the big things that I did to move forward and to get to the position where I'm at now is I actually broke habits. I looked at statistics, I looked at habits and things of that nature that I was going through. And I started breaking those. I started working diligently to break those habits. Any bad habits that I had, any, statistics that was out there that was against me, I was striving to break those. I was striving to be a leader. I was striving to be a role model for those that fit the same statistics. And it really worked. It really worked. And the other day, I was actually I'm in my house in PA in Pennsylvania. I'm actually moving very, very soon to a hold on one second. I apologize for asking you to unmute. Please stay muted. All right, I'll mute you back. Thank you. And through those times when I was here the other day, I literally took a bath and I'm in a jacuzzi tub and very nice, very luxurious. And I was just thinking, like, a couple of years ago, I was, here and my life wasn't together. I was skinny, very, very skinny. I was focusing on health and things of that nature. At that time, I was breaking my body down. I actually broke my body down to the core, to the point that I was at 16% body fat. And I built my body right back up. Now I'm probably somewhere around like 230. At the time I was around maybe 230, 240. At the time I was around 160. I was wearing a 32. I haven't really worn a 32 since I could remember, since middle school. But it all goes about your thoughts. So in this moment, I got out the tub or whatever, and I looked in the mirror, something I used to do all the time when I lived out here. And I was looking in the mirror and I just kind of got like a flashback, and it was just like, wow, like, we sometimes get so trapped in our thoughts, so trapped in what we have going on at the moment that we literally forget to give thanks. We literally forget to look at the spectrum, right? we don't look at the 1 year. We don't look at the 5 years, the 10 year, and see where were we that long ago, you know? And at that time, I was so happy, joyful, faithful, grateful, and appreciative and thankful because, you know, at that time before, I literally was just coming out of a breakup. I didn't know if I was coming or going. I just was recently moved from my house in New Jersey where, you know, I loved at the time. Um, all my friends were in there. I was just coming off a case, a crazy case that I didn't do, but just literally fit in the description. And it happens in the inner city. You know, at that time, I was brought up on charges on first-degree robbery, possession of a firearm, and illegal attempt to use a firearm. And literally, I got the call when I was at work one day, and when I got the call, I was working my second job. At this time, I was working two jobs. I was working at PNC Bank and I was working at, New York Sports Club. That's not a paid advertisement or anything like that, but it's just my truth and my facts. So at the time, my mother, fiance called me like, or called my mom and said, it's detectives at the house. And at the time I was running around, I was, a little rude and things of that nature. So I was like, what? They're at the house for a ticket warrant? Like I might have not paid a ticket or something like that, but they're basically surrounding the house for that. And when I got off, it was Valentine's Day. I then went home, everything. I called my girl at the time. I'm like, yo, I'm about to come pick you up. I need you to drive my car for me because I don't want them to see me driving because I think I got a ticket warrant. Fast forward, it was actually, this weekend was actually Valentine's Day weekend, and I never missed a birthday. I never missed a Valentine's Day. And this is kind of where everything started to fall. So at that time, it was Valentine's Day weekend. We couldn't go out. I looked outside my door and there were cops like everywhere, like not everywhere, but like parked in strategic places waiting for me to come out. So I'm like, whoa, like this is not an average ticket warrant. One of my boys came over to fix his brakes and he used my tools, gave him the tools. He went around the corner and they swarmed his car. But I say all that just to say, always have a positive thought in your mind, because when I was going through that, when I had to turn myself in, when I was, facing a $100,000 bail in the county jail, and, I always had it in my mind that I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm going to be a billionaire, that I'm going to be successful. And I don't know if you guys ever, listen to the song by Meek Mills when he said, I see my dreams unfold, nightmares come true. It was time to marry the game. And I said, yeah, I do. If you want it, you got to see it with a clear-eyed view. That's literally what happened. When I was leaving the precinct to go to the county jail, I was in the back of the paddy wagon, cuffs lock on wrist. And at that time, I seen my whole life flash before my eyes. Prior to this, I never been in trouble, some run-ins with the cops, but never locked up, right? Never in the position where going to a county jail or a youth house. And before that, everyone around me was always locked up. Everyone around me was in the youth house and programs and all types of stuff, always in trouble. And it was unlike me. So that's just a test to where your mind is, right? Always keep a positive mind. Always think positive thoughts. If you see yourself spiraling down a negative thought path, at that second, just tell yourself, all you have to say is not true, and think something positive, right? Force yourself to do it. Like it becomes fun after a while, right? So another quick story, I used to work out every day. So like I said, I was skinny, working out, boom, boom, boom. Should do push-ups. My regimen for working out is I will go until I break, right? So if I can't do 100 straight push-ups, and say for instance, I only could do 20 push-ups, I will do 20 push-ups and then I'll keep going until I break. Once I break, I get up, I shadow box, I go jump rope until I break. Then I come back down and say for instance, I only could do 5. I'll do 5, and if I break on 5, I get up, shadow box, jump rope, jump down, and do it again. Keep going until I break. And literally, that's the mindset that I have, right? That's the mindset that I have. This morning, waking up to do this call was blissful, very, very blissful. Just the unknown of what's going to happen on this call. Like, I love this call so dearly. I'm not going to get too emotional right now because I am popping my next rank very soon. So I think that's going to be an emotional rank for me. So I'm not going to get emotional right now. But, uh, you know, I didn't know what was going to go on with this call. I don't have my co-hosts on the call anymore. The teams, it's a lot of things going, evolving with the teams. I've been focused on learning, right? On this platform, in this academy I'm in the I Am Academy. We have a lot of different things. So I really haven't been trading. I haven't been trading as much as I should. I've been focusing on ECX and the e-commerce platform. And it's very blissful. So I've been working day in and day out. I haven't been back to Jersey. And it's just keeping that positive thought. You can be going through something, whatever it is, your family, friends, you feel like people around you are fake. You can always move yourself out of those positions. You can always change your reality with a positive thought, you know. So, that's what I want to, the jewel I would love to give, and for everyone on this call to just practice. Always keep a positive thought, always plant that seed. Back in the day when I used to rap, I said, those days, that's funny. I said, in one of my songs, I said, planting seeds now sprouting. So love what I'm providing, knowledge fill your noggin, get the bopping rocking, have fun, never stop it, get high and robotic. And then I was just going off, right? But it's like that. Always plant that seed, because that seed will then begin to sprout, right? And always be happy, always be joyful. Something that's unseen happens, or whatever the case may be, then at that time, just smile. 2 weeks ago, my grandmother passed, and I apologize for bringing this back up, but I know some people on this call that is dealing with death in their family, and things of that nature. So somebody definitely needs to hear this. When I was going through everything, now this lady raised me, right? This lady raised me. Used to come to the school when I used to get suspended for fighting and things of that nature, and really cared of me, and I didn't think I was ready. I really didn't think I was ready. And looking back, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I really handled it better than I thought. That's two big deaths. My grandfather and my grandmother, the two that really raised me and kind of, put the foot up my butt and pushed me forward in about, a year, right? Not even a year, 8 months, 6 months, something like that, 4 months, something crazy. But that's just a test. You always keep the positive thought in your mind, right? For my leaders on this team, for, my mentors, my mentees, friends, whatever the case may be, you know, I'm always here, right? You can always reach out to me. You can always text me. You can always DM me. People that's watching this online, maybe YouTube or whatever the case may be, you can always um, give me a call, give me a DM, give me a text. I'm always there to help. I growing up, I was always there for my friends. They used to think I was going to grow up to be a counselor, and they just didn't make enough money for me. So I was not a counselor, but I was one of those kids in alternative schools. Used to fight a lot. Was bad, really wasn't bad. It just was misunderstood, and was neglected, right? The teachers didn't know how to properly, not all teachers, I had some great teachers, but not all teachers knew how to properly get my attention. So yeah, so just to get back to the basic, this call is about the power of thought, right? I gave you one technique, and whenever you're thinking about something negative, transmute that in the present moment. Say not true, and say something positive, right? The second technique, go until you break, right? Go until you break, right? But instead of breaking, break yourself down, right? So say for instance, you're working out. If you know you can only do 20 push-ups fully, right? Then go to 22, go to 25, break yourself down before someone else or something else or the next set break you, right? I have a saying that I usually go by. I'm in the process of, I don't know what I'm doing with it, but I used to move with no surrender, no retreat. That was my mindset going into anything. No surrender, no retreat. And a lot of people didn't understand it when I used to say it. And I was serious, you know, no surrender, no retreat. I'm not surrendering, I'm not retreating. Why I say I'm in the process of, updating it and upgrading it, because that was one of the things that assisted in my fall, right? When I got arrested and things of that nature. I used to move with no surrender, no retreat. So I always was righteous. So when a cop would pull me over and they would, start searching my whip and doing certain things, at that time, I had a no surrender, no retreat mindset. So the whole time I was challenging them. I'm grateful for it because I've gained a lot of knowledge out of it. I gained a lot of friends and different police forces and, and judges and prosecutors and people that's high up, people that kind of pull the strings in government with that, so it was a blessing. I went to war with these people and we weren't on the same side, but afterwards we gained friendship out of it, right? And that's all just a positive thought, right? Being righteous. It doesn't matter where you are or where you're going or where you stand. You can always change that. Somebody at the end of the day have a complete different narrative, a script written for you, book written for you. Are you going to be in control of your life, or are you going to let someone else control your life? Are you going to break yourself, or are you going to allow someone else to break you? Are you going to be that person with those thoughts, with that vision, with that ambition to keep on going until you can't go no more and then keep going after that? Or are you going to allow someone to come in and say to you, hey, I'm going to break you, or stop doing this, or don't do this, or whatever the case may be, right? Some of my most loyalist people around me, I have fought, I have went to war with, or whatever the case may be. And I'm not saying war where I'm running out shooting at people. This is not, Call of Duty or anything like that. I'm not talking about that form of war, but we had some type of tension, right? But the thing about me is I feel I'm a man before anything. So I don't war a lot, and when I do, I dead it quick. So whatever it is, if we're men, we can talk it over like men, let's dead it. If not, then, whatever the case may be, but I'm not one of those people that go to war often. And I'm not one of those people that bite my tongue. If I feel something, if I feel some type of way, say something, whatever the case may be, I'm going to say it to you. I'm going to say it to you. Hey, bro, you got a problem? Like, hey, bro, you think I like a chick? Like, whatever the case may be. So, I just want to give some appreciativeness to and thankfulness to Fibonacci Furman. Thank you, brother. You was the first one on this call today. I appreciate you, bro. Nalisha, thank you, Queen. Sadiq, thanks, King. Miss Big C, I appreciate you. Thank you. Philip, thank you. Quan, my bro, thank you. I appreciate you. You're appreciating a bunch of love, prosperity, wholeness, and ambition and gratitude is going out to you. Timmy, I appreciate you as well. So I would like to switch topics really, really briefly. So it was the positive thoughts, but we're going to go into actions, right? We're going to go into actions because thoughts goes to words. Words goes to actions, right? And when you think about it, it all literally start with the power of thought. when you think something and you say it, that is literally an action, right? Once you start to act on that action, that becomes a bigger action. That is the reaction of the action, because you said it. Now which was the action. Now the reaction come where now you're acting upon that, right? And the more and more you go, the more and more strengthened that you will become. It's just like working out, right? A lot of people go to the gym, and I'm victim of this, you know, in the past as well. I'll go to the gym and I'll go so hard, and then afterwards I wouldn't want to go to the gym. And with that being said, now even realizing that in the moment, in the present, you know, once I start back working out within the next couple of weeks, I'm going to do that, right? I'm going to do that, right? And that and kind of to give people a kind of a glimpse of, you know, how I move and how I think. That's it. I'm willing to do what others won't do. I'm willing to say what others won't say, right? I'm willing to go that extra mile where others are timid or others are scared, right? Because you have to be fearless in this journey, right? Entrepreneur is not for the weak. It's not for the busted mindset, right? You have to have a fearless end because you're breaking curses, right? And it's just like poking the cage of a bear, right? You poke that cage enough, that bear, that gorilla is going to start going crazy on you, right? You have to have that mindset. Just know it's all a part of the process. I lost a lot of my team within the last couple of weeks, like the last week. You know, I got a call from one of my leaders, and he's like, "Yo, bro, like, you know, da 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 da," and he said a bunch of, you know, things, and I congratulated him. I said, "Congratulations. You know, that's not the move I'm making, because number one, I'm loyal. Number two, it doesn't make sense. Financially, it doesn't make sense. It just really doesn't make sense anywhere across the board. But, you know, that leader and the team that he took was literally in another country. It was in another country, and not to speak bad about them or anything like that, because, you know, on the last episode, I told you guys, don't send any hate mail, don't do anything, you know, I wouldn't do, you know, because I am grateful and appreciative of them, you know. So with that being said, you know, they took basically a whole team. It was about 9 people, something like that, 10 people. And when I'm just starting off and kicking the ball off like I am, you know, that was kind of impactful, you know, but not fearful at all. You know, the people that he took, you know, most of them literally I coached, I trained, you know, and with that being said, you know, they wouldn't know the skill unless it was, you know, if it wasn't for me, right? They have the platform and everything like that, but at times people get in their own mind about whatever. You know, I'm not going to go into the strategy. I'm not going to go into the skill. I'm not doing all that because you have to pay for a subscription, and then you will receive my assistance. But for those that's on the call, if you guys, you know, need any kind of mindset development around it, you know, because I really believe that people just give it too much thought, right? People give a lot of things too much thought. And then the things that they shouldn't give a lot of thought to, they give a lot of thought to. You got to understand, if I say something off the wall, right? Like, oh, I'm going to become a billionaire next month. I'm going to be a billionaire by next month, right? Some people are like, whoa, you got some big kahunas. Firstly, I'm like, yes, I do. Secondly, I'm more on the platform of the more I say it, right? The more energy people put to it is the more that it will become. And that's how controversy works. That's how negative works, right? A negative times a negative is a positive, but a negative plus another negative is a bigger negative. So a positive plus a positive is a bigger positive. A negative times a positive is a negative, but a negative times a negative is a positive, right? So I'm not trying to get everyone into mathematics. It's pretty simple, pretty basic. But you have to look at your life like that, right? How many people been to earth science before? How many people love earth science? That was one of my favorite subjects. My favorite subjects in school was literally math, science, and history. I didn't really like English. It was always something about it. But now I know it's because the whole time I was, being spelled on. Like people were creating spells and I didn't even know it. But it was always something about English that kind of just turned me off. I love writing. I love, putting my thoughts on paper. But when it came to the actual basics of it, I just really didn't understand it. And now I really do understand it. So I create my own words, right? I create words like gooder, better. And for those that I text, right? One of my mentors, I text her a lot. And the other day I said a word, right? And I pay attention, like I said, I pay attention to everything. I'm an analyst, right? I'm very analytical. And I used to say, oh, I'm so happy, successful, right? But then I thought, right, because it wasn't the last tune-up, it was last Saturday's tune-up, I said something, I went over the seven hermetic laws of success. It was something like that. And if you guys haven't seen it, you can go on YouTube, type in the tune-up dash, elevation or evolvement, and then they will pull up the video, and then you can go to the channel and look at whatever episode that you want. But I said something, right? As below, as above, so below, as without, so within, as, and it just keeps going until it's around, right? So with that being said, I was like, hold on, successful. And I was texting her and I was just like, we're going to be successive. And when I said that word, right, my vibration just went high and it opened up a doorway, right? And I guess it's because of the affirmations I wrote, the things that I affirmed, the things that I put out there that's literally solid, right? That you can always change, you can always upgrade, right? So successful, that sounds good. But good is the enemy of great, right? So I'm not beefing with anyone that's bad. I'm not beefing with anyone that's good. I'm beefing with greatness because I'm greater than greatness. And I'm moving and I am greater than greatness, right? So why go for the littleness, right? Why go for the littleness? All the people, it's not too many people on here that I see that maybe that played the, but for a street-minded, I'm not saying any of you are not street-minded or whatever, but it's like, for those that's in the streets or been in the streets or whatever, it's like, why block to block battle and stay secluded to one block, right? And I mean physically a street, right? When you can literally go for the whole town. You can go for the whole world. And that was one of my things, right? And the power of thought. When I was young, I used to see things like that, right? I used to be in a neighborhood. Thank you, sis. I used to be in a neighborhood, right? A lot of people, and I've seen a lot, right? I'm not even going to I've been in buildings, right? I just got a thought. I've been in buildings, literally was 25-story buildings, and people used to be from floor to floor, from house to house, and it was crazy. But to get back on point, I was from a neighborhood, right? That a lot of people wouldn't go. My elders used to always tell me, don't go over there. But, at the time, my mom lived over there. And, it was in a very crucial spot of Irvington and Newark is where the border overlapped. And it was literally, one gang on one street. My block was the neutral zone and my backyard was another gang, right? Or the rival or a rival gang. And it was very crack infested, dope infested, violent infested, stolen cars every day rolling down the street, you know. But we were outside, right? We were outside, we were doing it. And for people that's from New Jersey, especially from Newark, it sounds like BK. Seriously, it's actually a place that is like very like BK, right? It's from Newark, New Jersey. I used to live on Montgomery, where if people don't know where that is, it's on Avon and 20th, South 20th Street, Springfield, and then on the other side I had Clinton Ave. Literally, it was a terror zone. It was a terror zone. Like exactly like Brownsville, exactly like Brownsville. You know, and I used to always tell myself in that moment, like, 'cause I used to like being out there, right? Because for most part, I didn't, like my mom lived out there. I would spend my summers over there. I would, any chance I would get to get out the neighborhood that I was in, at the time, because it was very preppy. It was very, it was very wholesome, you know? And at the time I didn't really appreciate that. You know, I wanted to be like my family members. I wanted to be in the neighborhood like my family members. My grandmother broke the generational curse, and no, I didn't see any footage. I'll look at that comment in a second. But at that time, you know, my grandmother broke the generational curse. We were the only family members that we had outside of the urban area that I knew of, right? We were in Union, we were safe, we were good. We had a nice house and things of that nature. And, you know, we were thriving. But when I looked at my cousins, all my cousins was in Newark. You know, I go down to Newark, you know, we listening to club music, we partying outside, we're playing, you know, Manhunt, all that, you know, and I didn't see what was really going on around me. All I seen was the pureness, right? And that's what one of my things was. When I used to rap, I had a saying where I'm bringing true love back, you know, because love will heal all, even through the midst of violence, and even through the midst of chaos, love prevail. You know, at the time, you know, even with me rapping, you know, or whatever the case may be, love, all I seen was love. All I seen was the barbecues. I didn't see the family first cards. I did, right? Because they used to send me to the store to get things on it. And, you know, I was kind of programmed to the thoughts of it, but I didn't really see that. What I seen was I can go to the store down the street from my house, I mean, from across the street or down the street or whatever, and I can get, you know, 4 packs of sunflower seeds for $1. I seen that I can get, you know, potato chips for $0.25. I didn't see the nonsense. And I want all of you all to do the same. Don't see the nonsense. See the blissfulness, right? But always plant that seed that your visions would not withhold you. It would not hold you back from anything, right? So always see more, always do more, always feel more, but not block out the nonsense. As long as you have love, as long as you have security, you feel secure, then that's all that matters, right? Keep on going, keep on striving. Don't let anyone write the page to your script, right? Because those that watch TV, literally the people on TV is playing mind games with you the whole time. I literally sat back and analyzed this. And I sit back and analyze a lot of things. And, you know, I literally do data in my mind, right? So when you look at TV, they're literally programming your mind, right? You got to think a commercial have to literally disrupt your household for them to get a point across, right? They have to make you feel some type of way. And 9 times out of 10 is not happy, is not faithful, is not joyful, is not appreciative, and is damn sure not thankful, right? 9 times out of 10, the feeling that they give you is be less, right? I am not blessed myself. You know, times came up or things happen or whatever the case may be, and people be like, yo, you got a lot of kahunas on you, or you know, you got some big coconuts. And I do. Once again, I do, right? And that's not in a perverted way. But you have to have that willingness, right? You have to have that drive. You have to have that in your mindset, right? When I used to work out and I used to shadow box, the mindset that I had was Mayweather mindset. Was I am the best ever. Was no surrender, no retreat. Was easy work. Easy work. Oh, you want to do that? Easy work. Oh, you can't do that? Easy work. Right? You got people that will pick and nitpick on the smaller things, the be less things. Not me. I go for the grades. I go for the grades. Right? When I used to be a BADASS growing up, I didn't really like fighting people smaller than me. You know, if they were talking crazy and stuff like that, and I had to, you know, put them in their place or something like that, then I did it. But I never really liked that. I didn't like bullies. I was the guy that bullied the bullies, right? I was the guy that shut up and watched the bullies bully everybody. And then when they come over my way, I say something, I stand up, and the bullies didn't want to fight. The bullies didn't want to do anything. They just was doing it for clout, right? And to go again, a lot of people are clout chasers. A lot of people just do things for other people to see, right? Don't be one of those. Don't be one of those. You know, you can get instant success, right? Being a clout chaser, right? Right? You can get instant success, right? And when you fall, it's going to be hard. Like literally on the Saturday tune-up call before my team left, you know, I had the call and my team was on the call, right? And, you know, I said something and I was like, the test, right? The triumph does not come in a time when you're down. It comes to a time when you're up, right? When you're up, right? And a lot of people can attest to this on this call, right? Before any of us had a fall, if we ever had a fall, if we haven't, keep on going. Keep on going. Take the nuggets that you're learning in this academy and this life and the books you read and these mentorships and this call and the other calls and apply those, right? Do not be to the point where you feel like you're unable to fall. Matter of fact, excuse me, feel that way, but be that. But be that. Keep updating yourself. Keep shedding the bad. Keep shedding the bad. Keep on going, right? Because if that's the way you feel, keep on going. Keep on going. Because once I stopped feeling that way, once I gave someone basically all of me or gave others all of me and wore myself to the point where I was worrying about everyone else and not myself, not my health, not you know, with moving selflessly, the world will move on without you, right? So don't be selfless. Don't be selfish, but don't be selfish, selfless. Be self-with, right? Be self-with, right? Because if you're being selfless, that person that you're giving your all to is going to move on without you. That job that you're giving your all to is going to move on without you. Because the first thing they're going to detect is you don't care about yourself. So why should I care about you if you don't care about yourself? Have borders, have boundaries, right? And stick with those. But also be an analyst to yourself, right? Analysis to yourself. Pay attention to the data and let yourself know at the end of the day, like you can upgrade and you can keep on going, right? But love yourself and then you will be able to love others, right? One of the big things, and I'll end this call in about 5 minutes. One of the big things, you know, because back in my heyday, right, I used to be a kind of a ladies' man. And I used to be around a lot of people. I had a lot of people around me. I used to literally walk down the street in gangs, right? And all of us was literally separate gangs, right? Separate blocks, separate streets, separate gangs. And we used to walk around 30 deep, 15 deep. Walk down the street like we owned the whole town. Cops roll up. Somebody, one of us would have a good relationship, say something to them, they'll pull off. An op will run up, da-da-da-da-da. If they were a man of our mans, we'd squash it on sight. But that's what I like about movements, right? people that have good intentions, right? That's not seeing their situation as an obstacle, but more as an enabler, right? I tell anybody from an urban area, right? Anybody who sold drugs before is the best salesman. Point blank, period. Those people that was out on the corners hustling has more hustle in them than a lot of the CEOs in these big time companies, right? Has a lot of more hustle drive in them than people that was literally, you know, given wealth, given money. These people know how to get it out the mud. These people know how to get it from the soil. These people know how to get it when all obstacles is against them. If you're one of those people, if anyone ever told you that you wouldn't be, that you couldn't, that you were unable, that, you know, no. If anyone ever told you no, here is your yes. If anyone ever told you no, here is your yes. Go for whatever you want to go for. Whatever it is, I don't care what it is. And that's probably why, you know, some of my team have left me, because I gave them that freedom, right? Ex-girl, I gave her that freedom, right? But I'll tell you one thing, I will always give them that freedom. If that's the choice you make, then make it. Because at the end of the day, I was your blessing and you ignored it. That's from my boy, Kevin Gates, right? But seriously, I was your blessing and you ignored it. You know, any of my friends, old friends or whatever, like people always see after it. Like, damn, I might have fucked up. Told you so. Told you when it was happening, but people, you know, for those that's present in the time and they say something, a lot of people just look at you, they're in their feelings, they're in their emotions or whatever, and they're like, they can't get out their feelings about things. So they rather literally not listen, like they're listening, but they're not listening, right? If you have somebody that's in the present moment around you, keep that person in the present moment. Keep that person going, right? Feed that person. Don't let that person starve. Because while all your other friends is around you, I know I used to be around a lot of people like a lot of people on a day in and day out. Literally, it was the time I couldn't even sleep. I just had people at my door, ding dong, knock. Yo, come out. Damn, all right. And they used to get mad at me because I cared about myself, right? Because I used to take an hour shower. I used to have to suds up and rinse off 3 times, right? And they used to call me a bitch. Oh, you move like a woman, you move like a girl, so I don't care, you know? But always have that positive thought, always move with great actions, and always tell yourself, like, whatever you want, even right now, just say it to yourself, say it out in the world, say it out in the air. Like, I am going to be a billionaire. I am going to be one of the top earners in I Am Academy. I am going to be one of the top chairmen in I Am Academy, right? But be specific, because the people that's writing your goals, they're like, oh, I will be chairman one day. You better put the I Am Academy in there. And if not, it's okay. Like I said, I don't restrict anybody. But just know, you might go to a fraudulent academy that has the rank of a chairman. You might be a chairman somewhere else. Like, be specific about your goals, right? If it's love, like, write out what you want, right? And once you know what you want, don't let no one change that. I don't care. I don't even care if it's that person, their self. Don't let them change that. You know, but I'm gonna end this call here. I love each and every one of you. Tomorrow, we're gonna come back at the same time, a little earlier, 9:30. You know, wow. So it's funny, I just looked into one of my team chats and I seen somebody was being removed. And it's so funny because I knew that from day one, the energy wasn't right? And I'll leave y'all with this, Joel. Energy will always tell you. Energy will always tell you. For all my empaths out there, I love you. Keep moving. Stay humble. Just, program yourself to be a generator, to always be full of energy, right? Because empaths sometimes have a trouble with being drained because they love so much, they help so many people, and then they're the ones that end up being drained in the long run. So for all my empaths out there, just tell yourself that you're solidly, that whatever the case may be, right? That you're energetic, you're lively, like whatever you want to use, but keep on going because you the ones that really count, right? And that's why I love women so much, because they have feelings inside them, they have emotions, right? Besides once they get into their crazy side, and women, you know that you get in your crazy side sometimes, but they're able to guide, they're able to lead better because they have feelings. With men, some men, especially when you have an ego, especially when you have blocked chakras, especially when you don't meditate, eat right, things of that nature, you're limited yourself to feeling the universe, right? Feeling the groundedness, feeling the wholeness. So I would suggest, eating a little better, starting small. If anyone needs to reach out to me, reach out to me at the beginning of this season, and I'm kind of cutting it low on time. I changed from, I used to eat 5 eggs, 7 to 8 strips bacon a day, and whatever else that was on the table. And I've since then stopped eating red meat. Then I stopped eating chicken, or white meat, excuse me. Then I was only eating fish. Then I stopped eating fish. Then I was only eating eggs and stuff. Then I stopped eating eggs. And right now I am basically all plant-based. No eggs, none of that. But I'm not vegan. I'm not vegan, and I'm sure not alkaline yet. I definitely incorporate a lot of alkaline vegetables and fruits into my diet. I'm more of a conscious eater. But I'll do a call about that, about things you should eat, things you shouldn't, seasonings, ingredients and things of that nature in the future. But we all are becoming very, very better, very, very greater, very, very gooder, very, very more healthy. And expanding through that, right? Becoming better through that and that while being that, right? Words is everything. Please check your spelling, check your words, things of that nature. Even if you don't know how to spell, like sometimes I'm an awesome speller and then other times I'm just not. Pick your words. You can always add to it. Just because it's a squiggly line there, that doesn't mean that you don't know what you're talking about or that you don't mean good when writing it. So once again, like I said, always have that positive thought. And remember, don't let anyone else write your script. You are the master of your destiny. I love you all. I appreciate you all. You all are appreciating. We all are appreciating. And yeah, see y'all tomorrow. Peace, love, and light to all you guys. Great health, all the blessings. Love, 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 love. Peace.